Welcome to the STARS program, seniors taking active roles in society. And now, here's your host, Anita Finley.
Insurance, that's a very important word. I have all sorts of insurance. I have life insurance, I have health insurance. And of course, I do it through Medicare, but I also have my supplement insurance, and I have car insurance, and I even have, John, I'm going to introduce John in a minute. I have dog insurance too, pet insurance. So I'm big into this, because I have house, apartment insurance. I have lots of things. So John Ahlbum is here because he's an insurance guy. I've known him a long time. He owns an agency called AhlbumGroup.com, AHLBUM, AhlbumGroup.com. And John, a lot of people have. Do you have a lot of insurance?
Do I have a lot of insurance?
Yeah.
Yes, I do. And in fact, you mentioned pet insurance. We just got a new dog, and part of the deal was that we could get free pet insurance for 6 months. So.
No, you get free pet insurance.
Yeah.
Well, I have to say that I had a pet, and all my friends wouldn't pay the money for their insurance. And I had a pet before. I have one now, but I had one before, and somehow I bought it. And then the last years of that pet's life, it really was very expensive if you want to take care of it. And it paid for it. Of course, every month before it's paying for it, you're saying, why am I paying this? $60, $70.
Yeah.
But I do believe in insurance because it's just a little bit at that time. But now knowing, we know that you're in the health insurance world, and especially in the Medicare supplement. And I don't know how, if someone didn't have insurance, if they didn't have that 20% covered, how they would even manage it.
Very, very true. It doesn't seem like 20% is much until you get sick or you have a problem, and then all of a sudden, boom, you look and there's thousands of dollars worth of 20% out there.
Well, of course, Medicare takes care of the 80%.
Right.
And why don't you explain to people? Let's just start out so nobody knows anything. They just arrived from some foreign place, and now they've come here. Talk about how you would sell someone your supplement.
Okay, well, basically, Medicare is a primary for people 65 and over. And they can elect to have both Part A and Part B Medicare, which is hospital and medical. If they have both, then Medicare basically pays 80%, and they're responsible for the other 20% of the medical side of it. With a supplement, the supplement picks up the other 20%. So after either on some supplements, it pays first dollar, pays the deductibles and everything else. If they have a plan that doesn't pay that, then they're responsible for the first $147 a year. And after that, then the plan pays all of their 20% coverages. But what I like about a supplement versus the other side of Medicare, which is the Medicare Advantage plan, is, number one, the freedom of choice. They can go to any doctor, any hospital, anywhere they want in the country. The 10 leading cancer hospitals in the country don't accept any Medicare supplements. Any Medicare Advantage plans, but they accept all the supplements. So if somebody comes down with cancer, it's awful nice to know they can go somewhere and be treated. The other thing is that the Advantage plans are all cutting back because of Obamacare. They took money away from them. So they're cutting back on a lot of the freebies that they used to give away. And a lot of them are going out of business, or they're consolidating a PPO and an HO plan into one plan. Doctors are dropping out of the networks like crazy. So people are doctor shopping now. They have to go get their records and try to go find a new doctor, and that's not pleasant for them. And if they pick another Medicare Advantage doctor, halfway through the year, they'll be doctor shopping again because the doctor's liable to drop it. So that's why I push supplements, because I think people deserve good care. And with a supplement, that's what they get.
I'm glad that you really shared that, because we know that it's confusing.
It is.
And let's just talk about the dates. What are the dates that people now can make changes if they're in the wrong thing? October what?
October 15th through December 7th.
And what does that do?
That allows them to either, if they're in an Advantage plan, to switch to another Advantage plan. If they can also use that time to get out of disenroll from the Advantage plan and return to Medicare, traditional Medicare, as of January 1st, and then naturally have a supplement. They can also compare their drug coverage, their Part D coverage at this point, and see what, based on their current prescription needs, what plan is going to work the best for them and be the least expensive. Then there's another disenrollment. It's not, they can't go back to another Advantage plan, but from January 1st to February 14th, there's the annual disenrollment period where people who didn't do it in the October to December period have a second chance to get out of the Advantage plan and return to traditional Medicare.
Okay, so that's good. Those are good dates. And I want everyone to know, if you would like to hear more about this, I'm going to give you John. That's Jon, and his last name is Ahlbum. I'll give you his phone number. It's 954-970. I'm sorry, 954-970-4760. I'll repeat that, 954-970-4760. Or you can go to their website, which is ahlbumgroup.com, ahlbumgroup.com. And I have told people before that I actually have been a member of this wonderful organization. It's United Healthcare is that's really what John specializes in, even though the name of your company doesn't say that.
Right, but it's United American Insurance that we specialize
United American,
in.
and you have your shirt on, United American shirt, since 1947.
That's when the company was founded, yes.
Right after the war.
Yeah.
Amazing. And we've had great experience. Bill's had so many operations, and we've never had to pay anything. It has just been fabulous.
It's phenomenal. It really is. And the fact that they pay quickly, you can go anywhere you want, and there's never a problem with coverage.
And doctors like you. Do you know that?
Yes, doctors
when you tell
do.
them, they always ask you on the phone. Before they even say hello, they say, do you have insurance? When you tell them you tell them United American, oh, yeah, they make the appointment very quickly.
Yes, they do. They do.
What you talked about, doctors, a lot of them opting out, a lot of them are going into what they call concierge practices.
Yes. Quite a few, I don't know what the percentages are, total, but this is a deal where they charge $1,000 or $2,000 up front every year.
And they don't take HMOs.
They don't take HMOs.
But they do take
some of them will
supplements.
accept Medicare, some of them won't. So people who are looking at a concierge doctor have to be very careful and see if they accept Medicare. Because if not, then they're going to be paying for stuff out of their pocket as well as paying the concierge fee.
Okay, so United American is, for all intents and purposes, Medicare. So if they don't take Medicare, they're not going to take the supplement.
Right, exactly.
So everything's going to be there on their own. So that's a very interesting thing. You have to find out, and you have to know. And John's always available. If you have a question about what what you're going into before you make a mistake, call him, and he will explain that to you. I'm sure that when you get these calls from people, they are totally confused.
Quite often. Or just like you mentioned in the hallway before we went on the air, the number of people who are disgruntled with the Advantage plans now, who feel that their care was substandard, that they're, they got pushed around to different hospitals and things like that. And it's, but I like to sit down with people and show them their choices and explain the differences between even the 10 different Medicare plans, the supplements, and see which one's going to work the best for each person.
Oh, so there isn't just one plan?
No, there's actually 10 standardized.
You have 10.
Medicare.
So if someone wants to have insurance from you, you have to go through 10 different plans?
Well, no, we basically show 2 plans because those are the 2 most common and the 2 most popular plans.
So you have some which are very inexpensive probably, and then some that are more expensive, and it just depends on their health conditions. Now, is it true that you go in there with a heart condition, you can still get insurance?
Yes.
With you?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's always been the big problem in regular insurance, that if you have some sort of a precondition, then you can't. But with Medicare and with supplements,
especially if they're just starting Medicare, then it doesn't make any difference what conditions they have because they're open enrollment, and they don't even look at health questions at that point.
What are they looking at, actually? Nothing? They just take you?
Right.
No matter where you are?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have to make sure. I guess everyone should know where they live and what doctors and how close they are. That's important. What doctors, like you go down the list and you see which doctor you want.
Right, except that with a supplement, there's really no list. It's the yellow pages, except there's no more yellow pages.
Just get on Google, right? Google the person.
Yeah, Google doctors.
Yeah.
And you mentioned concierge doctors. I have a client here in Boca who, her doctor decided to become a concierge doctor, and she was going to go along with it until she got the letter saying, I'll always be there if you're in the hospital or something, except I go away for 3 months during the year, and so you won't have any coverage.
He or she must have a person that manages the,
No.
You don't have a partner that does?
No.
No, that's outrageous.
That was crazy.
That is absolutely crazy.
So I helped her find another doctor.
Right. Oh, yeah. Well, everybody wants a lot of attention. Let's face it. When we're sick, we do want the doctor to be as good as possible.
Right.
And, there are a lot of HMOs, and they are good, and they're fine for some people. And it really just depends on, look, we have automobile insurance, different ones. You have to decide which one is the best. And we've been very fortunate because I've been doing this a long time, and I get to meet a lot of you, people like you, and I get to choose the kinds of things I want to know. We have our USAA insurance because Bill was a veteran, and they've been very good and very fair.
It's a great company.
Yeah, it is. And it's so nice because I don't have to worry about all those questions that they're going to ask, and it's just pretty much that's it. They respect you, and you do it. Because, when you're sick, John, there's nothing worse than trying to go through insurance and trying to get doctor's appointments and try to get things done. It's horrible.
I know that.
Yeah. And so that's the difference, I think, with having a supplement, that you just find the doctor you want.
Right.
And you don't have to ask anybody first.
And you don't need referrals, and you don't have to make sure that the one doctor's in a network is the specialist in the same network, or can you not go to him? So there's with a supplement, it's just so much peace of mind.
Yeah, and it's not. I don't know. My rates have not gone up very much, or we've had them for I don't know how long I've had my policy. It must be 20 years. It's a long time, and I haven't seen the rates going up. If they did, it was very minimal.
They have been very minimal, like about 1% every 2 years. It's all based on claims loss ratio, and also on a lot of it is home office expense. And if they keep that down and they run a tight ship, so to speak, and United American doesn't spend billions of dollars a year on mailing junk every other day to you. They're more of a word-of-mouth company, so they don't have that big advertising expense that a lot of the other companies have. They work through agents, so they don't have a whole network of clerks or something that are sitting there waiting for the phone to ring. And they handle everything domestically. There's no offshore customer service or anything else. Everything's handled right here in the United States.
You mean when you make phone calls and you get people you can't understand?
Right. There's a lot of the health insurance companies now have gone to offshore places where you know darn well that it's not George in America, because they're reading a script to begin with.
I always ask, even when AT&T, anybody now would say, tell me where you're located. Because, I don't have a problem with that as long as they can handle your job and they speak clearly. But there are many times when I just keep having to say, would you please repeat that? I don't understand.
Yes.
But you're right. Well, of course, I haven't had to call United Health, United American. I always just call you, so I don't, because you're an agent for them. And exactly. There are other agents like you all around, aren't there?
Yep. We happen to be the biggest agency in the country right now. But
Your office?
Yes.
Well, you must be very proud of that.
I'm very, very proud.
You should be proud of this.
I've got some great people with me.
Oh, that's excellent. Well, let me give you his phone number again, because now that the period between October 15th and December 7th is on, you better go. Well, it's not quite October 15th, but you can get ready to make that phone call and figure out what you want to do, what kind of insurance you want to have. If you don't have any yet, you're just coming on, great. Just go talk to John, and you can talk to other people, too, and see what... I think what you should do is make a list of what's important to you. and then see if people of these organizations fulfill that list.
That's a great idea.
That's the way to do this. And then the phone number to call John is 954-970-4760. 954-970-4760. And you can go to their website, which is ahlbumgroup.com, AHLBUM group.com. What nationality? What does Ahlbum come from? Because it's
Scandinavian.
Oh, it's Scandinavian.
That's the most I've ever been able to pin it down.
Because, I mean, AL, I would think is, the H. It's that H in there that gets us all confused. Right. Ahlbum, right, AHLBUM. But, so, John, if you could go all the way back to when you were just little, when you were younger, and you could be in another kind of a business, what would you have chosen? I know what you're going to say, but go ahead. What other kinds of things?
I honestly don't know. I was in the boat business for a while. I was in the automotive business for a while up in New England. In fact, I had a bunch of different businesses up there. But insurance has been probably the most rewarding thing that I did, because we're constantly helping people and helping people make the proper decisions and getting thanked maybe a year or two later or 10 years saying, oh, my goodness, thank you so much. It worked so well when I just had open heart surgery or something. That it makes you feel good.
Now, of your insurance, do you carry other kind of insurance other than United American for Medicare? I mean, does United American have other kind of insurance?
No. Well, they've got a cash cancer policy and a critical illness policy and things like that. But basically, 99.9% of all our business is just Medicare supplements.
Interesting. So that was... And tell us about the top management or the people who founded this. Was it a guy, one person?
That founded United American? Actually, it started in a garage, and then it grew from there into a major company, and then I can't remember what year it was, but they merged with Torchmark Corporation, who's a major holding company of insurance companies, and that merged United American, Globe, American Income, and Liberty National all under the same roof, so to speak.
So it started off with just an idea. We ought to have insurance, right? Carry insurance for people.
Right.
Okay, United American. That's who we're talking to now. John Ahlbum has been doing this a long time. John, I never ask you about things like this. What do you do in the community that you just love? I know that you certainly care about people. And are you in any group particularly that you...
From time to time, I'll different committees and different things, but I work really diligently with different Medicare organizations. There's a Medicare Rights in New York. I work with them.
Oh, there is.
And I work just in our neighborhood a lot, helping neighbors and stuff.
Yeah. What does the Medicare Rights do?
They actually are like an advocate for Medicare.
You need to be an advocate? Oh, because the Congress keeps wanting to.
Right.
Oh, of course. Of course they want to cut in entitlements, right?
They will, they have a strong enough lobby or presence that they can put pressure on Congress and get recognized and get press out of it. So it's a big help that way. And they also have training for agents once a year. They have training for, or they're always there to answer questions for Medicare recipients. Somebody will need skilled nursing and not know if they're entitled to it. The Medicare Rights will tell them what they're entitled to, and sometimes they even go above board and try to get more coverage for them.
Yeah, it's such a big issue now. I mean, for so many years, it was just accepted. You didn't think about it, but now it seems like it's the big hot topic.
It is.
And, I wish we had a country where everybody could have insurance. I mean, that would be lovely. But since we can't, or at least we're not at the moment, let's not take it away from the seniors. I mean, this would be catastrophic.
I tell people when they're turning 65 and they go, ugh, I'm 65. I say, you should be celebrating, not being sad, because it's one of the greatest days in your life. Because now you're entitled to Medicare.
Absolutely. No, thank you, President Johnson.
Yes.
Yeah, because, when you think about it, John, you know so many older adults as I do, and if they're was not Medicare, whether it was Social Security, all this, we'd have a terrible older population. I mean, I don't know how we would manage.
You're right. And there's so many of them that are, as you say, Social Security or fixed income and things, as they get older. And the older you get, the more coverage, the more help you need. And it would just, for some people, it would be impossible.
And think about this. How many people started working when they were 16? Many. And now they may be 80.
Right.
And all that money that they contributed to the fund, it's not their fault that the money's been used some other way.
Right.
I mean, this was money that it was like their insurance plan.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, I'm a big advocate, as you can imagine, of keeping all the entitlements. And I certainly, I feel badly that I wish a lot of other people who can't afford insurance, and now they can afford some, but or if they can't afford, but it's just, it would all fall on their children, too, to be able to support what they need. And then the children they may not have the money. They're not all Trumps.
That's right.
And they may not have the money. We won't go there. But the point is that I think that the insurance for older adults is great. And I'm glad there are HMOs. Not everybody can maybe afford to pay for their own supplement. But for people who can, I just absolutely think it's the way to go. I mean, Bill and I have been so happy. And I'm sure there's some people who are having a hard time, and the first thing they want to do is to drop their insurance. And what I say is go to your kids and see if they can help you with $100 here or something to keep up that supplement, because it'll be, I've heard the problems of trying to get to this doctor, and now you have cancer, and you're they can't make the appointment on time and all. I've really never had that experience myself.
Very true. And your statement about the kids, I've got quite a few clients who the children will help. I mean, they'll have 3 children, and each one chips in so much a month, and that way mom is taken care of, and they feel a lot more relieved that they're not, burdened with it, because they just send her a check every month.
That's right. I mean, if you said they had 3 kids, everyone sent them $100 a month, which isn't a lot. That's $300. That would certainly pay for their supplemental insurance, and then they wouldn't have to be rushing down here all the time to worry how the medical,
Very true.
And the doctors. Something else you brought up before, it's really important about the doctors. So with your particular insurance, the Supplemental United American, they don't have to think. Any doctor, unless they're concierge, will take it. Correct?
So long as, 99% of the doctors accept Medicare. So there's 1% that don't.
Right, but they'll accept it.
But the other thing is that with the transient population we have in Florida, with the snowbirds or winter people and whatever you want to call them, a supplement is good here, and it's good back when they go home in the summertime or in the spring. And with an Advantage plan, that's only good one or the other. They'll tell them that it's good anywhere they go.
What do you mean one or the other? It only covers you in one location?
Uh-huh. They all have the
Really?
other. They all have geographical boundaries.
Oh,
I mean, they'll say it's good anywhere when they sell it to them, but it isn't. And then they find out that they're out of network and they're paying through the nose.
Oh, so they can get a doctor, but now they have to pay.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, so it's called out of network.
Mm-hmm.
So any of the snowbirds would be foolish to do something like that.
Yes.
I think that they definitely should have the opportunity to be able to go. And, when you think of it, John, really, I know you mentioned that, there are a lot of people that go visit their kids all over the country.
Yep.
So it could be 3-4 different locations, and if they're older, they could be sick in any of those places.
Exactly.
And now they're going to have to pay?
Yeah. I mean, with an Advantage plan, in network, the maximum out of pocket is $6,700 a year. And out of network is $10,000. Where with a supplement, you're capping it at about $3,000. And you're not paying copays or anything else as you go. So
Well, we better give people your phone number. Look, educate yourself. That's all I ask. You don't know, maybe this isn't right for you. It's right for us, my husband and myself, but maybe it's not right for you. So the point is to call them. Remember, this is called Pencil Talk Radio. Get your pencils out. Write the number down. It's 954-970-4760. 954-970-4760. Or you can go to his website ahlbumgroup.com, ahlbumgroup.com. And you have really been in the same location. You've been, I think, you've been in Pompano?
We're in Margate.
In Margate. And do people have to come there to file everything, or will you go to them? Or
we go to them.
You do?
I mean, some people prefer to come to the office, but probably 95% of everything we do is either over the phone or face-to-face.
Yeah. I think going to them would be a very nice thing. You know who they are. You get to see them. They give you some milk and cookies, and they want to feel really good. Well, one thing I have to tell everyone that John Ahlbum has been at our expos, and he's one of the better guys, one of the exhibitors there. It's been a great expo, hasn't it?
It has. We've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and
you meet a lot of nice people, and it's just worth going to.
Yeah, and we really have celebrated the veterans.
Yes.
I don't know of another organization. As a matter of fact, I just have to pat us on the back because so many of our the people who read Boomer Times are veterans. And so we wanted to do something and celebrating them, and they just love it. They just keep coming in droves. I mean, we have more people calling us already to reserve now, and it's just October. But it's
at the expo, it's really great when you see them coming through with their old Army hat on or their unit number on their shirt, or and it's amazing the number of veterans that are still walking around.
They are, and we've had now I've noticed, John, that we have younger veterans coming, the ones that were in Vietnam,
right?
And it's been really exciting for us to have the color guard, and so it's something. Even though it's a lot of hard work to put these on, we feel like we've really doing something for the community too.
You are definitely.
Yeah, Well, and Seminole Hard Rock is a wonderful place to have this.
Yes.
You can do a lot of other things after you're there. Don't spend all your money. You need enough for your supplement. John, thank you as usual. It's just a pleasure to have you on for you to help people.
Thank you so much, Anita. It was great being here.
We'll see you again.
I hope so. Thank you.